Just stay.
I'm leaving.
No, let's talk about this. Just stay.
Okay guys, I'm filming this now. I'm not actually starting the episode right now. I will be in the next like 20 minutes. I'm just waiting for something to finish. But I just wanted to say, hello. Welcome to Line of Duty Season 4, Episode 2, hopefully a week after the last one. Now, there is a weird thing, right? I've already recorded 2 things today and I'm feeling a little bit tired, but I want to get this out of the way. So, what I thought was I'd watch it in the lounge on the couch. Now there's a couple of things. This is a trial. If the audio doesn't sound good enough, I do apologise. If it doesn't, this will only be a one and done thing. It's coming out of the TV, obviously, not being screen recorded the audio, so the way you hear it will probably sound a little weird. So if it doesn't sound good, or it's not bearable, let me know, and obviously I'll change that. If it's okay, if it's fine, it's brilliant. Also, this room is a little bit echoey, so there's a chance that it may sound a bit odd in that sense too. But anyway, that's beside the point as well. We're going to try and watch the episodes, and I'm sure, worst things worst, it's just the audio isn't as good for this reaction. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there, guys, and get straight into the reaction. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get straight into it. Here we go. That's the thing. What on earth now? How do you come back from that? I don't know. Oh, here's a newer character. And here we go, here's the simple guy that can't really account for his whereabouts.
Already tried a whole number, nothing.
So this is a new DS?
Sorry, she's anyway.
Oh wait! Oh my god! It's because her number... I see! It's a new DS because the other one's missing. Holy shoot, man.
Under the pressure of interview, Farmer gave the wrong hospital. Michael Farmer was actually admitted to Sick General Hospital on the night Leonie Collisdale disappeared.
So he was at a hospital, or just a different one? But I'm questioning this new DS. I'm curious about him, you know. Is he in on it like the other lady was? Yeah, I have a bad feeling that this reaction isn't going to be as good because of the lighting and the sound.
From what there is, we've done pretty well to identify her as female. She's been dismembered.
Wow.
Is Ron on her way?
Yeah, no, that's not going to be... It's not going to be her, eh?
DCI Huntley's not answering any other numbers. Her Federation reps that I go to. Sorry, side.
You see? She's nowhere. And they'll click onto him and they'll go look for her. It's a bit weird. I bet you he's just holding her captive. You watch. So she is there, see? Whoa. I can tell it's echoey in here, by the way, so I do apologise. It's not going to sound as nice, but you're still going to get the picture, you're still going to get the reaction, so it's better than nothing. Anyway, where are we? Now, I knew I did see a spoiler. It wasn't like a big one. I just saw like a frame of her at like a cafe or something. And I remember like thinking like, was that before or after? And I started doubting whether I actually saw that. So I kind of had a feeling she wouldn't have died. Now, the question with that is that means... You know who has kept her alive? Unless she's now hurt him. That's the other question. I bet you, though, what's happened is he's now going to stay quiet because what she's just seen him do. So it's going to be like, for goodness sakes, he was the one person who was going to speak out. Now, he's going to be the one person that can't speak out because of her. You know where I'm coming from? I feel like that's why they're going to go with this.
Everything alright, Mum?
Ah, sorry. I really wasn't up to coming in earlier. I think I picked up some kind of bug. Grim night.
Oh, Kate knows. But that's the question, like, what now between them? That's the thing. I'm so eager to find that out. Like, it's exciting, man.
AC-12 are going to serve you with a Regulation 15 notice.
What is Regulation 15 again? I swear we've heard that. Is that like temporary suspension? I swear Denton had something like that, right? Yeah, he's arrest. It surely sees that. Whoa. Why actually think, look, you know what's really weird though? Like, I don't like her. Like, at all. Like, I've noticed that, like, whereas Denton, I remember thinking, I kind of liked Denton. Like, you know, I just liked her. Like, I thought she was a cool character. Like, I just don't like her. Like, weirdly though, the thing is I didn't like Gates, and then I ended up liking him. So, is it going to be one of those where, like, I don't like her and I like her because then I realise the motive? Or is it going to be one of those ones where I just don't like her blanket statement?
In respect of evidence against Mr. Palmer, our first consideration is item reference AP5, Hannah Resnikova's clothing. Document 5.
And none of the fibres, right? So that's what they're going to go through, showing all the evidence.
Hannah's
Boom, boom, boom.
clothing yielded item reference HLA8.
Fibres.
DCI only has the right to be questioned by an officer unless one rank senior.
Oh.
Yeah, so you take DS on its point, don't you, DCI, huh?
Bloody hell, man. Give Steve a promotion. To say, I get very frustrated, like, with the whole... They've done this every season. Like, Steve will say something, it's like, boom, we have the right to be questioned by someone rank higher. It's like, oh, shut up, man. Gosh almighty. But he deserves to be as well, but he's not going to get it. And if he will, it will have to be like, it'll be hard earned. It'll take ages. Like, I think that's, like I was talking about the last reaction, is why there's conflict between him and Kate. One of the reasons is the level of positioning, the job, etc, etc, etc. Kate's got this, Kate's got that. And I feel like last season, Steve felt almost like he took the biggest hit. And then, like, Kate sort of got the biggest celebration. You know, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. He was sort of left in the dark. I mean, everything happened without him. And he didn't have a chance to prove himself, and he wasn't believed and stuff. It's just a very complicated climate right now with Steve, and I feel gutted for him.
Only one fibre was found. I mean, that's pretty meagre, wouldn't you say?
Nonetheless,
Crap.
it's still evidence proving Farmer was in physical contact with Hannah on the night of the abduction.
Actually, it's evidence he might have been in contact with the black item of clothing. And as the jacket was never found, we haven't got a definitive match to the one used in the abduction.
Exactly.
And it's a single fibre is more consistent with cross-contamination.
You just admitted to an absence of evidence.
Exactly.
Document 9.
Whoa.
Document 9 is a sequence of triangulation map carried out on Michael Farmer's phone in respect
1-0,
to the month of
80-12.
March from 2030 to 2200. The map also shows the location of Hannah Resnikova's abduction.
Seems like a man wasn't in the right place at the right time.
Just because the phone was there doesn't mean Farmer was. And there are no witnesses to Farmer loitering near.
Bruh. Just because the phone wasn't there doesn't mean Farmer was. You watch them use that as evidence, right? You watch, they ask her, like, I don't know, like something to do with what happened with that other guy. And then she sort of says, I was at home. Check my phone, I was at home. Boom. Bring back this interview. Boom. Bring back that. Boom. Just because your phone wasn't there doesn't mean you weren't. Oh. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, all these little details, like, so good, man. They're so good because I know, like, I would just pinch that out of there and just throw it straight back at her in a future episode. I mean, if I was Steve. But I'm not Steve, but if I was.
The blood matched a control sample taken from Hannah Resnikova. They were Hannah's earrings. Farmer ripped them out before leaving Hannah to die in the
Farmer ripped them out. No.
into the burning house and saved her.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, somehow managed to save her. She's the one that didn't die. She's one that wasn't dismembered. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And she knew that bombs were going to go off. And she knew to keep the dogs away. And she knew to run in there. And it was perfect timing.
I took the view that Michael Farmer took special care of them, keeping them in a safe place, keeping them clean, and for that reason I discounted the carpet fibre profile.
There was also a blueprint relating to a...
Here's another question. Sorry I paused it like a bajillion times already. This is important. Now, if her conversation with whatever you want to call him, trash bag killer, what's his name again? Balaclava man. If you want to assume that he's the killer, if you know that whole situation that they had before, they must have had a conversation about it, which means she must be protecting him or her, blah blah, for whatever reason. She could frame him right then and there if she wanted to, if that makes any sense. She could have done it. Why hasn't she? If she's trying to frame someone or trying to catch the real killer, surely she could have just formulated that whole situation to make it look like she escaped this, she did that, frame him, blah blah blah. Does that make any sense? He's then got random pieces of forensic evidence in his bag. We saw that. Why were they there? He's got a balaclava. He's gone and got all these supplies to dismember her. You know, it points to him. So why wouldn't she just frame him? That's why. If she wants someone to be framed, why not him.
Image 47. Image 47 is a CCTV capture made on the 25th of January. showing a
This
figure
for me is the
1940
strongest
as
evidence.
balaclava man.
Shoe size doesn't match. This doesn't match. That doesn't match.
Graduate entry, fast track for promotion, DI before you were 30.
Then you hit the
So now they're
wall.
talking about her, yeah.
Sensitive family.
Uh-huh.
You stood still, while other people kept
And
climbing
her
the
desperation to get
Operation
forward
Track
again.
was an extremely high profile inquiry.
I discharged my duty correctly, and the matter is now in the hands of the courts.
ladder. The matter, DCI Huntley, is whether or not you knowingly and willingly hoodwinked the crime prosecutor into authorising charges
Whoa.
against Michael Farmer despite there being good reason to doubt his guilt.
That's an inflammatory accusation.
Federation rep or not, you will address me as sir. And as far as
Oh,
I'm concerned, DCI,
come on,
2
Ted.
hours is an extremely narrow margin for our fella to abduct that wee girl, transport her across
Yes,
town,
sir.
do away with her, and then get himself up to the hospital.
Exactly. It does not add up. Boom. Bro, you know what I like about Ted?
Image
Crack.
47 again. Michael Farmer wears size 8.
Is someone going to tell me where this came from?
Our source is confidential information.
Item reference TJI9, the previously mentioned
Uh-huh.
detective.
She did herself in, not just looking at that evidence. Just looking at it and processing it.
Michael Farmer's home, size 10. No match to any footwear belonging to Michael Farmer.
There's the man you should be looking for up there.
Sir, I am very grateful for this new information. And
Ah,
authorised
gosh.
you to look into it without delay.
I'm going to recommend to your senior officer that a new senior investigating officer be appointed to Operation Trapdoor and that you be reassigned. This
Ooh.
interview is terminated.
No control now. No control. Hello, Tiger. Hey. Hello, Tiger.
How many ops is the biggest trapdoor have you ever run? Thought so.
Oh. What is that? No way is he dead. Didn't I say that that could have been the case?
We're looking deeper into the evidence in the Farmer case and I need your input. Thanks again for the biometrics. They're what to treat, mate. Call me, okay?
Come on, Steve. But he's gonna be dead. He'll be dead or captive somewhere.
Only got him past the National Inspector's exam.
Congratulations.
Wait.
I didn't know you'd entered.
She's gonna get it, isn't she? And she deserves it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve that. But Steve, man.
Morning.
Hold
For
on.
those who don't know me, I'm DCI Ian Buckles. And for those who don't read the Chief Super's emails,
That
I'm
guy.
running Operation Trapdoor.
Oh, shoot. He kind of looks a bit like, you know, he's white. He's a big guy. Size 10 shoes. I don't know. Oh, no. I'm starting to speculate, guys. Everyone's guilty.
DCI Buckles. Yes, Arnold. Come with me, please, sir.
Oh, so they're going to have a conversation now. I imagine, right?
I do not want to pull my officer off this job, and I'm sure you don't want to see all that time and money and effort go up this cloud place, huh?
No, sir.
So just a bit of a quiet conversation to say, keep your act together.
That's the spirit.
Tim, Steve Arnold. Tim, Steve.
Whoa. He hasn't been picking up all his letters and stuff, so he's definitely not in or he's dead. Oh no.
We had 3 DSs and 1 DC. Who put you in charge?
This is all going through my gaffer. Want to take up with him? Be my guest.
I love it when there's little like fake conflicts, you know, it's like, ooh, spicy.
No, you're not going in.
Right. Please stand up. You've been given a lawful order. If DCI Huntley doesn't put you on paper, I will.
Crap, man. Damn. Surely they find her blood, like on the like counter or something. Right there. I just saw it. Boom. Unless I'm just making that up, but I swear I just saw the blood stain, which she wouldn't have remembered. It's a tiny little blood stain. I remember it clearly from when she hit her head. I remember looking, boom, blood.
Cause of death looks like is a neck laceration.
Oh! So somehow she's overpowered him. I reckon what's happened is he's realised, gone, oh crap, this isn't what this isn't what I meant to do. Started to back off. She's then sliced him. You know?
The second, third, and fourth digits of right hand have been amputated.
Oh! Wait, why have the fingers been amputated? Oh! She does. Oh, you know what she's gonna do? She's gonna accidentally hurt herself. Right? They've seen the blood. Oh my god. Gosh, man. Okay, so her blood has been found. She didn't have time to like clean it up or clear it up or anything. How the hell is she going to explain that away? I thought she was just going to like spontaneously hurt herself and then contaminate the scene or something. You know, coincidentally, but I don't know. She's going to have to explain it away somehow, and I have no idea how. The thing that's actually bugging me more than all of that, because that's all background noise right now, is the fact that Steve still seems to be like rejected. You know what it feels like, right? It feels like they just don't trust him, because they had the issue with Denton that he was like he almost slept with her, and he had that, you know, he was sort of ruined that case in a sense, you know, not single-handedly but close enough. Obviously there's that issue. Then there's the issue of what happened last case, and that he wasn't trusted then. They thought that he did it. Now the thing about what I'm thinking, right, is that they just don't trust him. They've had this issue now, and they just struggle to trust him because of all this stuff that's going on. It seems to centre around Steve, even though it's kind of unjust. And I'm just curious as to how that's going to develop, because surely at some point Steve's just going to crack. Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting, right? He's just going to end up cracking. Yeah, like, well, what? I mean, that's what I would do. I wouldn't know what to think or say. Wasn't it 13? Wasn't it 13, or have I just heard that wrong? She wrote 30. Okay, guys, yeah, I've had to move, so yeah, this reaction is a mess. I don't think I'll film it in the lounge again. It just made it a bit more complicated in terms of like people coming home and when I can record and where. It just made it a bit iffy. So I did get like obviously like, interrupted and stuff, so I thought like it kind of made sense for me to just not record the rest of it until I'm like alone and stuff. So I thought, boom, laptop, it's a bit easier, and I can move it around a bit easier and all that sort of stuff. But it does mean that it may change. There is one thing though, it means that I'll be able to compare the audio. So I'll be able to compare before and after of the audio, which is great. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to press play and I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to have to rewatch a little bit. I'm starting at 33 minutes and 8 seconds. Oh shoot, no. Oh wait, she's taking, oh I see. So she's taking his blood and she's trying to make it out like that blood was his. And she's written KRG 30. But that's not the right number though, is it? Is that just me thinking that, am I reading this wrong? Because if she writes 30, I mean it takes 13. Doesn't that mean like there's evidence missing and a random piece of evidence has appeared? What on earth? Or is she now going to try and frame him to be the killer because everyone's on her tail about the other guy? Imagine she tries to frame him now to being the killer because it's convenient. Like I said, why didn't she just do that in the first place? Now that he's dead, it's a lot easier because he can't argue back. Do you know where I'm coming from? So she's putting KRG 30 in. See? So she did get the number wrong. Oh! Please don't tell me she just guesses the right one. Oh, that's just annoying.
That much Tim Eiffel's blood as well. Okay.
The fact that she's able to just waltz in and take evidence and change it that easily. Surely there are cameras literally everywhere. I mean, that's evidence there, right? There's no way, like, that she gets away with that. Like, that is just a step too far. That's mental if she can get away with that, you know.
We have a text message from Tim's phone to yours. Elle, don't come in.
Yes. I suppose I thought
And
he'd
that
changed
was
his mind about the cleaning.
her, right?
Did you know?
Look at her face.
Tim, I felt in
Oh my gosh.
any other way.
Was there any clues to what Tim was doing getting Hannah to come to his flat?
No, it's a blank. We're running background checks on
To be
Hannah
fair, that
because
is a
it
bit weird,
appears
you
to be
know.
an innocent party.
Well, Tim had a high-tech security system installed in his flat. The cameras fed direct to his computer.
Actually, that's a
There's no
good point. He's got like mental security, right? We've seen it. Why haven't they just checked that? Sorry guys, by the way, if the brightness keeps changing because the camera doesn't like it, but it's one of those days where the clouds are just moving so fast, it's just like light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, you know where I'm coming from? Anyway, yeah, why haven't they just looked into his security stuff? Because he was quite like tech orientated, right? Like unless she's wiped it or something.
And stepping up to inspector, it's same proposition. There's no half measures.
I'm ready and able, sir.
Yeah, it just seems, I don't know, man. It's one of those things that just, you know it probably isn't going to end well. Whoa. Wait, what is that? Are they like scratch marks? They are. Yeah.
That's a shallow wound, so possibly there's a question mark over the level of intent. Also a partial thickness burn on the left hand. Furthermore,
Oh, wow.
defensive wound. Fingertips were amputated post-mortem, presumably as part of the killer's forensic cleanup.
So we're surmising that Tim tried to grab a handful of his assailant.
Yes, sir. I mean, Tim might have realised this was
Scratch.
fatal, or the killer was incapable of lifting the body. Small, or female, or both.
Yeah. Whoa, come on, Steve.
Possibility, sir.
I just think you need to develop your leadership qualities a bit more before I can support you for inspector. I'm sorry.
Right, I see.
Oh.
Will it be Steve?
Well, look, in my view, he just has those extra years under his belt now. I mean, it was a very close run thing, kid.
Dude, so Steve got it.
Thank you, sir.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The conflict is going to be mental, man.
A trace of foreign DNA was found on Leonie Collisdale's partial torso.
I did.
It matches to Tim Ifield.
Oh, that's what it was.
Face makes a mess, face gets to live in it. I didn't do it. Didn't do it.
Oh, they're so horrible, man. Gosh
We're all in
almighty.
shock.
I was never happy with AC12's recommendation to replace you.
Thank you, sir. Still, Operation Trapdoor belongs to Ian Buckles.
Gosh, man. Right. Guess who's back in business? I give it to her. She's meticulous. She's intelligent. But she's also horrid. I do not like her. As much as what her motive might be, great. Okay guys, if you're sitting here thinking to yourself, excuse me, where's the reaction? Where's Line of Duty? I know, it should be out probably earlier this weekend. It's currently going to be released at about 8 o'clock on Sunday in the UK. And I do apologise for the delay. I've literally been editing it all day. I've been in bed. And for some reason, my computer's been having problems with Premiere Pro and it keeps shutting down and not saving. So I've been literally re-editing again and again and again. And finally, I've practically finished it. I just need to film the outro and get the few final touches ready for you guys. So I'm just hoping it's a good reaction, to be fair, otherwise it's such a waste of time. But anyway, there's only a few things I want to talk about, and I'll keep it short and sharp because the reaction is already edited out to be quite long. I think the first thing I want to talk about is like the ending and the fact that, well, Tim is being framed to a point, the framing has started, the blood has been swapped and found, and da-da-da-da-da. To be honest with you, I didn't actually find that important because you kind of felt like she was going to be doing something suspicious like that anyway. And funnily enough, my favourite part about the reaction, about this episode, has been the development of Steve and Kate and their relationship and what it means for them and the jobs and the positions and stuff. That for me has been the best part about this season, just because it shows not necessarily only a positive depth but with them. You know, last season we had a bit of like blowback from Steve being accused, and you'd think would there be any consequences of that, and we're seeing those consequences now. And now they're both running for the same job. Now my bet is that Kate is probably feeling a little bit gutted, almost like Steve shouldn't deserve it because of what happened with Denton and the mistakes he's made before. Maybe she doesn't trust him completely. And obviously Arnott believes that he's not trusted enough, and he believes he should be getting it, and he's always been true to his word. He's always worked his hardest. So the conflict is intense, and it's there. It's definitely there, and that probably is, like I said, my favourite part, because when there are conflicts like that, and when you do explore the darker side of relationships, you do get to see them blossom a bit. So I'm excited to see where that leads for the end of the season and for them for next season. Obviously the reaction isn't fresh in my mind. I watched it a few days ago. I'm not really going to talk too much. I think I did a lot of talking in that reaction. I'm not completely sure. It felt like I spoke a lot when I was editing it. And I'm just excited for the next episode. And where to? Oh my god, man, I don't know. AC-12 seems to be like somewhat indefensive, because this new antagonist was very, very tricky, very smart. She's doing these things. She almost feels like a few steps ahead of us. And it's just a matter of finding out how to get her. And I still want to know her motive. I think the motive is one of the most important things. Unless the motive is literally that she was worried about her job, her not progressing as much as she wanted to. That's a pretty weird motive to be like framing someone for murder. You know, I feel like it's got to be more intense than that. Like financial or something that's going to come to light. So yeah, I'm very, very intrigued in that and to figure out where that goes. As a season as a whole so far, maybe I'll talk about that, being as I don't have much else to talk about. I feel like it just feels a little bit weaker. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I freaking love it. Like I'm sure I love all the seasons, but it does feel a little bit weaker. Like the fact that I'm more interested in where Steve and Kate's relationship is going after last season and what happened last season and all that stuff and the continuation from that. It does feel a bit like you're sort of iffy. You know, you just feel a little bit iffy. Like it's not as fantastic, and to be honest, like I think another reason I think that as well is because this character, she kind of reminds me a little bit of Denton, just not as good, and I think that's one of the reasons why, like, as an antagonist, I'm sitting here thinking like it's not as exciting as when Lindsay was involved. But anyway, that is really just a minuscule complaint, which makes me sound like an utter snob, so you can ignore it if you wish. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you all so much for your patience waiting for this reaction, and there should be another one at the end of the next week. Episode 3, that will put us around halfway through the season, so I'm very excited for that. If you did enjoy this video, guys, as ever, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for new content every single week. And as I say every single time, guys, don't forget to follow that Instagram, British Chapter 2P's link is in the description below. Like I said, all updates go there. You would have seen today, if you were following the Instagram, that today was the day I was editing it. If you're on YouTube, you don't see that early enough, so that's why I always encourage you guys to follow Instagram, because that's really like the news feed, I guess, of my YouTube. And it's where I like talk to people more. I've noticed now as well that like as more comments, as my channel grows, there's too many comments. Like it gets quite time consuming replying to them all. So I don't reply to all of them. I usually reply to like regulars and people I see pop up quite a bit. But Instagram is a much better place for that. So if you do want to talk about reactions and the episodes and stuff, then Instagram's the place to be. But anyway, I'm going to leave that there, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As ever, it's been your boy British Chap. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.